how we can use these methods we saw in the API documentation, how we can use them in our program. For example, we wanted to reference the column date from our data frame df, which will give us a column reference. And as we have a column object, we can, for example, call the cast method here on this data frame. And here we can see that we have to pass in a data type. And we already know about data types. Therefore, we can import them. You remember from Spark SQL.types, and then import, for example, the string type. So now we can pass in this string type, and in Python we cannot pass in the class, but rather we need to pass in an instance of this class. So therefore we have to add these two parentheses here. So we pass in the string type object, and this cast method will actually yield a new column reference. So therefore, after the cast, we have another column reference. Therefore, we can add, for example, another method. For example, we can cast again to datetype, which doesn't make too much sense. But we can also, for example, use the .alias method, which takes as argument a new column name to be used as the new alias. And this entire transformation of the date column, we can also store in a variable, for example, date as string. So that's a column reference. And we can use this in the df.select, for example. And then we can select a column, for example, date. Let's use single quotes here as a best practice. And then date as string. And this we would like to print to the console now. And we won't see any difference because the date has been cast to a string. But it doesn't make a difference for the string representation of the date itself. But we will see that we get a data frame containing only of two columns. I would like to ask you to play around with the methods which are defined on the column class. So you basically reference a column, so you retrieve a column object, and then you can call .cast or .alias to play around with the columns as well.